Cola, man, so Cola, you know, several seasons ago, I think was a much bigger name than he is now. He's unfortunately one of those amateur players who is decent, but has kind of gotten pushed aside by the influx of all the old pros, so he's not really a big name anymore. And Lazy's actually been doing a little bit better. You know, he did play a decent number of games, I think, in Sonic's King of the Hill Pro League thing. And as I said before, won a good number of PvPs. Seems to be a bit of a PvP specialist, which is nice. I like PvP specialists. He's like the amateur Harangi, because I don't know what happened to the real Harangi. Does anyone know what happened to the real Harangi? Is he still playing StarCraft 2, or is he in the military or something? I don't know. I wonder where he went. But whatever the case, he's pretty good at PvP. Unfortunately. Or, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if Lazy's good at PvZ or not. I assume not as much, since Pro players generally struggle in this matchup. Looks like Cola was about 50% in broadcasted games. And oops, sorry, I got to change to the new match. It is no longer Larva versus Jangby. It is Lazy versus Cola. It's my bad. There we go, done. Oh, my Harangi quit like a year ago. What? Man, I missed this. Or maybe I read it and just forgot. This happens a lot. So... Oh. Man, get off your phone. There's a Brewer game going on. Or maybe he's live reporting for somebody at home. Maybe he's got like a friend at home who just couldn't come or something. He's like, or maybe he's like some severely injured person in the hospital, but really loves Brewdor. So now he's, you know, this guy's his friend and he's narrating for him. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be like, you know, like an awesome, one of those awesome uplifting stories in a movie or something. You know, it's like there's this like, you know, some kid who's been dreaming of coming to Sonic Studio, you know, his whole life, and then finally, like today's the day, he finally, you know, saved up enough money to come and watch Jangby play. And then, you know, he gets in an accident or something the day before, and he's in the hospital and he can't come anymore. So his friend is like, "All right, I'll go there for you and I'll narrate for you." So he's on the phone with the hospitalized guy, and he's live reporting the games. It's pretty touching. It's pretty touching. I'm sure it's not what's actually happening, but you know, we'll give that guy the benefit of the doubt. Anyway. Although, funnily enough, didn't Day 9, in Day 9's Daily 100, didn't, like, something like that happen? Well, obviously, like, no one was hospitalized, but, you know, when Tasteless was playing in a qualifier or something, and Day 9 couldn't be there, like, he literally had the game live reported to him on Battle.net in the chat, so somebody there was just, like, typing in the chat what was happening in the game or something. Man, good times, good times. Apparently my story was quite sad. Well, no, but see, the kid will be fine. The kid's not gonna die. He just got in an accident and couldn't be there on the day. He's not gonna die. Okay, fine. I'll keep going in the story. Okay, and then after the group, all right, and then Jangby makes like a heroic comeback in the group, and then after the games, this guy goes into, you know, the friend on the phone goes and talks to this guy, or not talks to this guy, talks to Jangby, and he's like, hey, you know, he tells him the story of the kid who's like his biggest fan. And then Jangby is such an awesome person that he decides to go and visit this kid in the hospital. So even though the kid couldn't come and watch the games, his hero comes and visits him in the hospital. And it's like the best thing ever. Alright, there's your Disney ending. Boom. Ah, man, you guys are a tough crowd here. You're like 1-star in games and stuff and telling me my stories are too sad? God. Bunch of whiners. So hard to please. But that's okay, I love you guys. Anyway. Alright, what's going on now anyway? We have a cybernetics core as part of the wall. That is oftentimes not advisable because if you face any sort of early hydro pressure, all the buildings of the wall will die, and that would include your core. Which is just really not nice. Especially if you subsequently just get lurker contained and then your core dies and you're like, well, shit, you know, I need goons to break this lurker contain, but because I built it in the wall, I can't make goons anymore. On the other hand, It does fix the problem I was having with Jangby's version of the wall without the core, where it's quite open on the north side, and it's easy for links to run by, so in that sense it's good. See, it kind of blocks that. And it looks like the probe gets into the main base despite the links just popping out there. That's okay. Nothing is going on. Man, I see a lot of links moving out from the second, from the natural and the third though. Do you guys see that on the minimap? I don't think this is gonna work because there's two zealots there. He's not blocking correctly yet, but hopefully he will. Looks like one Zergling actually poked in and realized that that wouldn't happen. Anyway, that core is spinning also, so we're gonna see some +1 Sayers. That's another reason why putting the... Oh, what? Oh, no, what? Wait, so the probe somehow tricked himself through into the back there, but a Zergling also tricked himself through. Both of them presumably did that just by stacking on drones. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, another reason why putting the core at the front is not optimal is obviously just a Zergling poking at the front can see whether it's spinning or not, whereas if you put it in your main, they have to wait until they get the Scourge in, or just sacrifice an Overlord. What is that? Oh, that's the second gateway. Okay, so basically what we're going to see is some +1 Corsairs and +1 speed lots pressure. This is a pretty nice active PvZ mid game here. I think, oh man, I was gonna say, I think, you know, Bisu started using this and then people kind of followed suit, but I feel like I'm always nervous saying that with any PvZ build, because like every PvZ build ends up being attributed to Bisu. You know, it's kind of like how every argument on the internet always ends up devolving into somebody calling someone else Hitler or something, you know? There's some rule, there's some law, somebody's law is like, you know, every argument ends up with a reference to Hitler. And it's kind of that same way, I think, with Brood War PvZ builds, you know? Eventually, every Brood War PvZ build will be attributed to Bisu at some point. So, I don't even know anymore. Like, nobody even played this matchup before Bisu came along or something. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, just gonna reposition that creep. So the Zealots moving out now. They're on upgrades at the moment, but they'll probably have their upgrades finished as they're walking across the map. It's pretty normal. And we got a good old SimCity going on here. So that's pretty solid. Pretty unlikely Speedlots are going to be able to bust this. Looks like we got a lot of Sunkens being made. So Cola seems to be absolutely aware of what's going on here. One thing I have to be careful about is this though. He's built all Sunkens and no Spores. So these Corsairs are actually just going to town on the Overlords. And this is highly problematic. Oh man, the Zealots are actually going to bust down the Spore. Oh no! That was supposed to be a Spore. And it got forced to cancel. I don't know why he's running from the Scourge. I'm pretty sure you could kill them. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway. Run! Those Scourge needs to turn around right now. I don't know why they didn't turn around. That's bad. Oh, what? They didn't even hit. See? Top level Zerg would have pulled those Scourge back and kept him alive. It's the little things, man. It's the little things. Anyway. So, you know, the Zealot pressure does a little bit. He managed to kill a whole bunch of Overlords here at the third. That Spore is still quite out and exposed. But it seems that for the most part, well, never mind. Things are not going to calm down because one Spore is certainly not enough to ward away 8 Corsairs there. And, oh man, he went Lurkers as well, even knowing that his opponent was going +1 Corsairs. He's actually just turned the few Hydras he had into Lurkers. Oh, he's tricking them in the back! Oh, he's doing the trick! Oh man! Oh man, he's got Lurkers in the back. He should hide that one though. He should wait until he's got 2. Oh man, well it doesn't matter because apparently Lazy's reaction time is super fast. Really, really awesome though. Basically, he's just burrowing them on top of each other, and when you unburrow and they stack, they end up just like pushing each other through the minerals. Oh wait, he doesn't even just burrow the other one. Wow, look at that! That was like a perfect push. That is awesome. Yeah, I think that like seems so easy because the borrowed one was slightly back. It wasn't directly against the minerals, and the other one was. So when you unstack it, it like pushes it into the minerals. That's really, really cool. But oh man, you see, this is the problem when you go lurkers against +1 Corsairs. There's one spore is not going to cut it. Even 2 spores there is not really going to cut it if the Protoss commits with a lot of Corsairs. So look at him. He's severely supply blocked. 54 of 37 supply right now. And you know, he can't. So and this problem compounds on itself because without supply to build units, he can't defend any additional overlords he makes. I mean, this is really, really problematic. In the meantime, it looks like a probe trying to sneak its way over to this top right, this base above the Protoss main to try and sneak an expansion. That's not going to happen. And it looks like he's going to use the Archon Zealot trick to kill this this lurker. And apparently the Archon was blocked by a cannon. So yeah, here we go. Gonna use the splash damage by attacking his own zealots to kill the lurker, and now the lurker is almost certainly going to die. Yes. So we now have a shuttle. Oh my god, if that's a DT drop into the main, the game could just end right now. Because with enough Corsairs here, there's no way Overlord's gonna come back here. Like, the drone's gonna have to leave, the Spire's gonna die. The Spire, I think, at the very least is going to die. Because by going for Mutas and Scourge here, I think that means he's also not getting Overlord speed. I'm like 90% sure that Cola does not have Overlord speed right now. Oh man, he's not even paying attention. Oh man, he does not notice in his main that everything is dying. Cola, bro, your main, it's dead. It's dead. I don't know why he didn't see this coming because the Corsairs went into his main for a second there and suspiciously flew around and left. Like, that should have been a clear indication that something was going on. Because this kind of move, this DT drop follow-up is so common. Oh man, fortunately for him, an Overlord pops. Actually, he does have Overlord speed, so I guess I was wrong. Ah, typical. But the Spire does fall. And this is just really bad. All the drones plus the Spire. And he's got Muta Scourge. Now, that is a lot of Corsairs. If he gets a really good spread, maybe he can take down the Corsairs, but that's going to be so hard, especially with an Archon underneath. If Lazy is careful and keeps the Archon underneath, he'll be fine. He's even just going to run back to the cannons now. I think he'll be fine. He has 3 cannons in the main. He's absolutely fine. So, man, Lazy really putting the hurt on here. Looks like getting some goon range now. And the one thing that Cola is doing pretty well, though, at least, is he keeps denying this third base of Lazy. But that's going to get taken care of now. And here we go. A lot of Scourge. I mean, if Cola can get a massive victory in the air and then suddenly just go Mutas and go into the main, maybe he can do something here. It's going to be really tough, though. You see the Archon's underneath, which makes things really, really annoying. Although it looks like he doesn't actually kill any of those Scourge. And here we go. He's chasing him down, but oh, see, he's clumping a little bit. The thing is, if you don't get the perfect arc off, the Scourge clump again really easily, and then you just take so much splash damage. It's just not very easy to control this kind of thing. And looks like we're going to have another DT drop in the main. Is he going to get spotted, though? It looks like... Oh, no, it's a Kakaru. Oh, man, he's not going to spot it. Oh, God. Oh, God, they're going in again. Oh, it's only 1 this time. But that's still enough to kill all the drones. Oh, there's an Overlord there. Is he paying attention? Yes, he's paying attention this time. He's not leaving, though. He's just stacking them. Alright, but the Mutas come back, so he's only going to lose, like, 4. So that wasn't quite as disastrous as the first time, but I think just that initial drop after that amount of damage using all the drones in the main was just so problematic. Oh wait, what? Wait, did he not see that? Oh, that was weird. He didn't quite go high enough to see it, I think. Huh. So that 4th base of the Zerg is going to stay alive for the time being. I mean, Lazy could definitely kill that, but the thing is, maybe Lazy doesn't want to go up too high because he's also getting his 3rd at the bottom. So if he goes up too high and the Zerg just counterattacks, that'll be quite annoying for him as well. But he's going in for another drop here. Lazy really on the ball with his drops. I mean, the thing is, Cola has so many Scourge. I don't know why he doesn't just invest a few more. By the way, I just realized my colors are backward in overlay. I apologize. It's like just noticed. At least I had the positions right. But oh, it looks like some Scourge are actually managing to catch a few of these Corsairs here. I don't know how many are left because they are stacked. And whoa, that could have been dangerous. Meanwhile, some Hydras coming down here to the 3rd base. Gonna kill the cannons, but not too much else. And it looks like it's a Zealot drop this time. I think there was one lurker in the main base. Yeah, there is one lurker there, but looks like the drones are just in massive trouble again because Cola is too busy focusing on the main attack at the front, and oh man, doesn't even need a DT here. Just the Zealot drop is enough, and he's even going to kill the Evo, which presumably is upgrading something, so really, really nice moves here by Lazy here. You know, I wasn't sure if his PVZ was up to scratch before this, but definitely seems to be, although Cola isn't necessarily playing amazing ZVP himself. Looks like +1 attack did finish for the Hydras at least, +1 range attack, but +2 is done for the Protoss. And it looks like the army is moving to the top right again just to keep denying that 4th base. I mean, it's 3 base versus 3 base right now. Really, really bad news for Cola, even if he hadn't lost all those drones. So this is going to be pretty impossible, I think, for him to come back now. His mutas are getting chased down. Looks like doing a nice little juke in action. He does have a +1 carapace as well for the air. But here's a big ground army coming in here. There are a couple of lurkers. They're not Burrow though. Man, Lazy, I think Cola, I think, was too busy focused on dodging with the mutas, and just Burrow the lurks a little bit late, but he does have the high ground advantage, but you can see it's the 2 lurkers there getting stormed down. The Archon goes down, but there's not that much else there. Although not that many Zealots in the Protoss composition for some reason, and it looks like, oh man, Lazy's the one now not paying attention, allowing his Corsairs to just suicide into the Spores and the Hydras, but it doesn't matter. The mutas and Scourge have effectively been neutralized, and he just got this big ground army walking into the 3rd base. Oh, there's a lot of units coming in from the backside. He is still fighting uphill, and here we go. The lurkers coming in the back. The storms, though, are pretty good here, but a lot of units coming in from the side as well, and he might have used all his storms. No, he's got 1 extra storm. Oh man, he's got plenty of storms left, but now he doesn't. He's lost his High Templar. He's got a lot of goons. He's killed most of the Zerg army, and GG from Cola. Cola throws in the towel here, and Lazy takes game number 1. All right, excellent. I think this would be very exciting, actually, if Lazy goes on to the winners match. That means we'll get more PVZ action instead of mirror matchups. I think that'll be quite nice. And, you know, given the games we've seen so far, I actually now really want to see Lazy versus Larva, because they've both been really outclassing their opponents in these series so far. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, Cola is not out yet. He is going to be. They are going to be playing Electric Circuit next, which is generally favorable for ZVP. So, you know, Cola at least will have that going for him this time. But Lazy did amazing Corsair play and drop play this game, and I think Electric Circuit is even better for that. Well, maybe not better than Mist. Mist is actually a pretty unique map, but it's certainly definitely still viable to do that kind of